gentlemen, and welcome to Retro Gaming with Hopper, and thank you for watching. Well, we're getting started on working on the mechanical end of this, all the fun stuff. Problem I was having at first was it was stuck on reset. Well, we kind of got that squared away. I went to the schematics and found that these are not all connected. I had the jumper in here connecting all of them, giving the top side all the power, but that was wrong. The black ones come up to the top and then jumps over, and then your two little ones down to the bottom. Those are the wrong coils, but they're working for right now. And when I would turn it on, it wouldn't. Once I got that squared away and the wires put where they belonged, then it would start. But when it would start, the match unit solenoid would jump up and stay on and just sit there and hum like it was trying to change, but it couldn't change, the numbers for the match unit. And it comes down, and the alternator coil was stuck closed. So I went over to the schematics, which we have right here, and let me get you zoomed in a little bit. You can see here's our alternator solenoid and switches, and it runs right up to the 00 to 90, which is our match unit, which it rotates it would move one spot to change to where it would match. Well, once I got started, okay, well, the alternator comes up, that goes to the match unit, the 0 or the 00 to 90 unit here, and I thought to myself, well, what makes that move? Well, 10 point. 10 points is the only thing that would make this move. To move, it would click, click. Every time you hit a 10 pointer, it would click and change from like 00 to 10, then 20, then 30, then 40, and so on. It would just rotate every time you hit a 10 pointer. Okay, well, if this is stuck on, but the 10-point relay was working, you could hit the 10-point relay and it would move the score. But that's not connected to this. Well, it is connected to some degree. So that told me that I had a 10-point switch stuck closed. And sure enough, I went to the playing field and looked at every one of my 10-point, now I can zoom you out a little bit, to every one of my 10-point switches and checked them all and found I had one back here that was stuck closed, and I had one over there stuck closed. So now when you start the game, no credits. Let me coin it up. In fact, I think no, I still have to work on that. I still can't get it to coin up. So we'll just hit the coin mechanism down here, the coin switch, which still didn't do crap because there's no credits on it. So let's go back here and cheat. Boy, that's pretty stiff. Yep, definitely gonna have to work on that some more. Okay, now we have 4 credits. Now, first, game over. Do away with our game over. And she clears it all, and now she's ready to play. And it took two credits off of it. That starts the tunnel. As you can see, there's a tunnel moving. Hit the center, and we get 1,000, or 2,000 I should say. And there's our 2,000. So we are getting somewhere. We're starting to get things working and squared away. I still have not been able to figure out where my lights are at. That's something I'm going to have to keep working at, and I do notice that I have a kicker that's not working. So we'll have to take a look at that. See what the hell's going on with that kicker. But I think that side's working. Yeah, that side works. And all the switches now are working. Bumpers, lane, yep, hole, and that starts the hole again, and then the tunnel, a hole. And that time I don't know what we got because the light bulbs are burnt out. Looks like 4,000. So now we're finally getting somewhere with this. We're starting to get some of the bugs worked out of it. I want to get these lights turned on because I feel once I get them turned on, that's going to maybe kind of lead to some other problems that I see that I'll find and fix. So let me try and figure out where the illumination lights are for the backboard. I know some of them are working. The player ones aren't working for the player to turn on, but the tunnel, you can see those ones. So we do have some power back there to certain lights. But I want to get the general illumination lights going. So let me take a look and let me work on that some more, and when I find out what it is, I'll bring you back and we'll and get it fixed. Well, folks, I got the backlights back on. I was pulling my hair out, which I don't have any hair, but trying to figure out why we didn't have any backlights. So I came over, I stared at the schematics and stared at the schematics, trying to figure out what the hell was going on, where everything was. And come to here, which is general illumination insert. Well, insert is the back box. Took me a while to figure that one out, but I did. And we come up here, and here's our yellow, which I found the yellow in the back, which is on the plug. What number is that? Okay, there's the number 30. And you come over here, and this is our back box plugs here, those three, and you find number 30, which is right here, and I tested that, and I had 6 volts. Okay, come back down here, and I look at it, illumination, okay, down, follow it over, and the other half is brown. And brown is number 60. So I come over here to our back box plug again, found number 60, tested 60 and 30, and nothing. No 6 volts. But now if I tested this 30 on the playing field ground, or field, whatever, I would come up with 6 volts here. So I eliminated, well, not eliminated, but I figured that number 30 is our dead dead leg. So, okay, let's just do this simple then. I came down, comes over, and goes to a 15 amp fuse. Well, I checked the fuses and the fuses were all good. So I thought, okay, now if the fuse is good, why don't we have lights? So I pissed around and I checked here, checked that, and checked this and checked that, and finally I came back to this fuse. Grabbed that fuse, twisted it, and my lights come on. It was just a simple, dirty fuse holder, is all it was. After about 2.5, 3 hours of chasing my tail, it was just a dirty fuse holder. So my advice is, if you don't have lights or anything, check your fuses. The fuses are good. Clean the fuse holders and see if that cures your problem. It did mine. As you can see, now we have backlights. But nothing like wasting some time chasing your tail when it was just a simple solution. But what I did do is I went ahead and pulled the bottom panel out of this again and cleaned every one of my contacts again, because I was still having a few problems. There seemed to still be, there were some things missing. And now you can even start a game. And that's our tunnel running. And when you hit the center here, it racks up, and then see the 2000 was lit, and it gave us 2000 points. Kind of hard to tell. Still have a few lights missing, but that's gonna, these across the top here are not lighting up for me. So we'll have to chase that down too. Now that I know we have power to the back box for the lights, now I can check where those lights are and find out what the hell's going on with those. But I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get the flippers put in, because everything is starting to work on it. And that's our tunnel motor going again. And see, even our ball's lighting up. This is where our ball will be. We're on third ball. But the tunnel, when the tunnel starts running, it stays running until you run across that switch there, and it says wire or stop. Yeah, see, it gives you a break. No points. Last ball. And there's our match, is along the top, which is right here will be our match. 00, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So now we can, let's get the flippers, start getting the flippers put on this, so maybe we can play around with it a little bit. And okay, folks, got the bumpers, yeah. Got the flippers put in. Yeah, there goes the ball. You can see, got brand new coils, one brand new link. I had to use the old link for that one until my other stuff comes in, and then I'll finish rebuilding it. But now we need to see if everything works. Okay, we'll coin it up. Probably should get my tablet so I can start writing stuff down, because I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that needs done. Let's see, there's one credit on there, and it's not registering. Okay, but it does take the credit off. Now I know we'll have a lot of light bulbs out, because I just put some in to kind of get some light on the subject anyway. There's still a few in the back that I need to redo. Okay, tunnel stops when you... Okay, sorry about that, folks. Had to go get a little tablet so I can write some stuff down, so I know what the hell I'm doing. Let's see. No. Coin up. We know that stopped the tunnel. So let's... Bumpers are working good. Let's see, pops up the post, and 1,000. It looks pretty good. Let's see, collect. Yep. That starts the tunnel. And I'll stop it and register another 2. Post goes down. Post up. Post down. Post up. Yeah, I know what we're missing. No bells. Soundboard's not working. That hole worked. Okay, folks, what a hell of a time I've had here. I had a couple of these that were pretty easy. Yeah, as soon as you focus. The first one was just some burnout light bulbs. The no coin up was just switches misadjusted. The right bumper, I got it going. It wasn't really anything. It just hadn't been used for so long that it hasn't stuck since. I got the targets adjusted. Player controls working properly. That was just a couple of contacts that were misadjusted, and no bells. The bells just needed to clean the Jones plugs. So we got that going. Biggest problem was I was having problems. There were some other few issues that were kind of popping up every now and then. So I went ahead and pulled the machine down again, took the bottom out of it, and had it sitting over on my sawhorses. Cleaned all the contacts in it again and made sure that they were all adjusted. Tore down that big roller bank that runs everything and got them all cleaned up again. There was a few of them that I had a hell of a time getting to, and when I actually took the whole clip up out of there of contacts. I'm gonna... Damn it, there goes the ball again. Set you down for a minute. Always forget about that, Paul. This bank here, while I had it out, I took the whole contact, unscrewed them here, and took it up off, and got them, cleaned every one of them, and adjusted them. Then when I put it all back together, every time I'd hit the start button, the machine would just totally shut off, would just die. You could turn it back on, hit the button again, and it would just die. Just shut off like a dead short. So I was, okay, now that all the contacts are clean, I probably got everything connected like it should, and now we have a problem with something. That we got a dead short somewhere. So what I did was I run through and I checked every one of my solenoids with the multimeter, checked the ohms on them, and all of them here in the back. I checked them all in the back, all the scores, put the right coils in here, and everything tested good except for number 1 score reset was a dead short. So I thought I had a bad coil. So I pulled the green wire, the green and yellow wire, or green and white wire off and tested it. No, the coil was good. So we had a problem here with that green and white. Okay, green and white wire is on the score reset, number 1. See, it's green and white. Checked it at this is the score motor, that's that big rolling bank, 2A, and it's open. So I checked it, and it was open. So I was like, okay, well, now if that switch is open, we shouldn't have anything connected to the solenoid unless there's something going on in here. Well, 45.2, if you go over to our Jones plugs, you can see 45.2 is right here, right there, 4th pin down. So I checked that 4th pin, and it was good, but yet it was still, you know, the wires were connected right. We had green white on the top and green white on the bottom. So I knew it had to be in the reset, because every time you hit the reset button, it would just shut the machine completely off. So I started checking all the reset solenoids, and everything I checked that said that either it should be open or closed was the way it should. I mean, I've been racking my brain here for about 3 days trying to figure out what the hell happened. I mean, all I did was clean contacts, make sure they were all adjusted, and everything was working properly, except for we had a few issues before I pulled everything apart again and cleaned and checked all my switches. So this morning I went ahead and I tore that big bank of contacts down again, which is that guy right down there. I pulled the switches, all the contacts back up off in a pack, looked at them, they were all clean, and I had a couple that were close, so I just adjusted a few of them, and lo and behold, nothing. Still the same thing. And okay, so if we're having a problem here, so what I did was I pulled this Jones plug out, hit the reset, or hit the credit button, gameplay button, and it started like it wanted to play a game. It was trying to reset itself, but that plug wasn't plugged in, so these two weren't running. These two, the score reset 1 and score reset 2 wasn't running. Okay, so now that's telling me that it's got to be in the back box, that there's a problem here in the back box. I tore this whole bank down There's 4 screws here, here, and here, and here. Pulled that down to make sure that we didn't have a bad wire in the back, because this green and white runs to the back. It goes back in that back bundle and then runs down. It comes down and runs over and then into the Jones plug. Well, but I was seeing other green and white, but they're not green and white, they're green and yellow. So after I figured out that I'm looking at green and yellow on some of these, then okay, then it's still this green and white. Like I said, I disconnected that coil and tried to reset it, did the same thing, just shut down. Okay, so now I start looking in the back of this Jones plug. Getting in there, okay, following it through, and I was getting to the point to where I was going to take that whole Jones plug off of the base and see if I could figure out, you know, if maybe we got wires touching in the back. Well, started digging around back there and pulling out the wires, and this showed up. This screw was down behind this Jones plug in the back here, and when I pulled the green and white out, the head of this popped out, was sticking out. So I pulled that screw out of there, turned it back on, hit the reset button, and it worked fine. So I don't know how the hell I didn't take any of these out. I didn't take any screws out like that back here. This screw was laying up in here somewhere, and just by chance it got behind that plug, because there's no screws missing. Everything has all its screws. So somewhere down the line, that little screw ended up in this back box and finally worked its way down in there and made contact on the inside of those Jones plugs. And like I said, I was racking my brain, because I started out with, okay, the credit union, here we go again with that credit union, the credit unit. I started there, I started with the reset up here, everything was working fine up here, all the contacts were the way they should be. But for every time I hit that button, it would just shut the machine completely down. I checked all the tilts were open. I mean, this is 3 days. Well, today's a full day. Thursday I came out for a little while. And like I said, I get home at 6 o'clock, 6:30, so I'm only out here for a couple of minutes, or for a couple of hours, and then I go in the house. So, oh man, it was just starting to really get to me, trying to figure that out, which they can do that. But today when I got up, I said, you know, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to find out what the hell this is. So let me jump off here for a second. Let me grab my pinball, since it dropped back here. And then we'll fire this thing up again, and I'll show you what else we got going on. Okay, one other thing I forgot to mention too is this, on the credit unit, this back solenoid, when I first got the machine and we got it all cleaned up, and as soon as I plugged it in, that one, all it did was hum. It was stuck on. You can see how black it is. Now it still tests out okay. It melted it a little bit, but it's still working okay. I'll probably go ahead and change it. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, because this whole unit is a real hell to get that out of there. It's not bad to get the nuts off of it, but you pull it out and it only comes out a little ways, and then you can't get at anything on it. So I'll keep playing it and make sure if it works okay, I'll probably leave it in there. Because like I said, it just got toasty. Some of them get toasty and they're fine. I checked it with the ohms meter and it ohmed out fine. It just got warm. And that was the other thing that I was chasing down too. the last 3 days, was to figure out why that was stuck on. But then after, this was before I pulled the base out of it, I was playing with it, trying to figure it out. And on here, let me see if I can find it again. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah. See the credit unit step up. That's the one that was why our coin, it wasn't coining up. And I checked on it. I followed this one down. We have the credit unit limit, which was supposed to be closed, which it is, and the black and white. I chased it all the way down here to the two coin chutes, your second and your third, and then out on the other side it turns brown, and then it goes down to 11A, which on that large bank they're numbered 1 through 11. So 11A, you go to the 11th number and it's A, which is all the way on the bottom, and it should be open, and it wasn't. That one was staying closed all the time. So I adjusted it out again, and our credit unit step-up solenoid turned off. So we got that working, so now it actually credit coins up as well. Let's see, two games per quarter. Now the only problem I'm having now is when you hit the credit button, it wants to take 2 games off. I don't know if you've seen that. Oh, come on. Yeah, quit running into the flipper. You can see there's the 17. Press the button once, and it takes, oh, that one took 3 off that time, but it also run us up to 3 players. So that's something else that I'm just got started working on, and I figured I better give you an update before I forget everything, because I'm bad about that. So let's see, we're gonna have credit, takes 2, 3. So that's another one on our list. Now the bells, as you can hear, all of our bells are working again. And like I said, that was just, I got it put in and I forgot to clean the Jones plug on it. And I just cleaned it up, and lo and behold, our bells started working again. The knocker unit, I still haven't been able to match it or get a high score to see if the knocker unit works. Let's put that down anyway. Knocker unit. No. Instead of no knocker unit. Okay. So now we have these 2 left to work on and troubleshoot down and see why every time you hit the credit button or start button, it takes 2 or 3 credits off. I got all the light bulbs working. Those were all just a bunch of burnout light bulbs. So got all them working. And now we just have a couple more things left here on the list that I just added, that I found while I was working on other things. But like I said, usually when you start adjusting your switches where they should be and cleaning them all, some of these little problems go away. Now these 2 could be the same thing. May just be misadjusted, or maybe I just haven't I haven't matched yet, or anything. Now the taking, running off 2 credits or 3 credits could be just switches that are too far apart, so they're kind of arcing when they go to hit. They arc off, and it's like it hits it twice, 2 or 3 times. And I'll work on that, and when I figure out what the hell that is, we'll come back and I'll show you what I had to do to get that working properly. The knocker unit, like I said, I'm not sure. That could be almost anything, but we'll mess around with that and see if I can get the knocker unit working. Right now, that's the only thing on here that is not working. I could put coin mechs in this, and it would be set up for quarters and work fine. So let's get started on these 2. We got these 2 left to do, and well, we got her straightened out. Okay, the credit unit reset. That's what takes off the games when you push the button. We come down and we have the credit relay, which is on the credit unit. Damn, I just cannot get that word. And then it turns to the white and brown, comes down to the 3B on the score motor. Focus up, 3B. Okay, 3B, and it should be open. So I'll come over 3, which is the 3rd set of relays in. Let me get my squeeze in here. Okay, so you have, these are all marked down below, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, it's that little short stack there. B, which is the second one down in, is supposed to be open. Well, it was open just a fraction of an inch. And as it rolled on the roller, it would actually make contact again. So I opened it up a little bit and adjusted it up some more. It helps if you turn it on. There we go. And now you can see that that's 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, 4 player. So we got that straightened out. Now that's all working, and the knocker was in upside down. Here's our knock unit right here. So when it adds a game, it knocks. So I flipped the knocker assembly around, and now it works. Now we are down to nothing. We got everything all squared away on this now. The coin unit works, accepts credits from the switch on the inside of the panel. And I remember these when I was a kid, that when you put a quarter in, that's what you heard. So now it's taken, let's see, back to 19. Now that's working. And that's everything on our list. Everything on this machine is now working. What we have left on it is just some cosmetic work. Let's see. Here we go. I went ahead. There's the new legs. New leg levelers. Bolts. Gonna put them on. We're still waiting on our back glass, which I'll probably be done with this series before we even get the back glass in. Kind of trying to stretch it out as much as I can to give them time to do it. And we need to get a back door on this. Today is Saturday. Monday, I am going to take a trip down to Southampton, Pennsylvania. That's about 5.5 hours away. And pick up some more machines. I'll document it. I'll take the cameras with me and we'll do all that while we're on our way down, and when we get there we'll do some filming. I'm going down to pick up some more pinball machines. This one's about done. If I had the back glass I could finish this up in a day or so, but without the back glass it's going to be sitting for a while until we get the back glass in. Like I said, what's left is some cosmetic work. We'll go ahead and do that up, and I'll film that. Film or videotape it. No, not videotape it either. I will record it. And maybe we'll jump on to something else. I don't know how many pinball machines I'm going to pick up. I know there's 2 of them I'm going to look at. I don't know if I'm going to take both of those ones, or I know he has other ones to look at. And I can get 3 of them in my van. If the price is right, I will be bringing home 3 more pinball machines for us to go over and redo. So that'll be fun. Like I said, that's about a 5.5 hour drive down and back. 5.5 down, 5.5 back. So that's going to be a whole day, and I'll be pretty well shot come Tuesday. But maybe not. I'll probably have time to document the machines. I'll get them out of the van and we'll look at them together. When I get them back here, I'll look at them with you down there, and because you're going along for the ride, whether you like it or not, you're going with me. But maybe after we're done, as far as we can get on space-time, I think maybe we need to get back on our Deer Hunting USA. We need to get back on that and get that finished up. All we're lacking on that is getting that monitor to work, and it kind of ticked me off, so I kind of let it sit for a little while and concentrated on this pinball machine. There's other stuff here. I have stuff to keep us busy hopefully till spring. That's why I go down and get these, get 3 more pinball machines. I'll have enough stuff here to do probably at least until maybe the end of January if I stretch it out. And it might get too cold out here in the garage to be able to come out and work too much. I have my torpedo out sitting there running on propane. All I have to do is I turn that on when I come in, let that thing fire up and heat up the garage. And then all I need is that little electric heater sitting there, and it keeps it warm enough in here where I'm not froze. So that's what's going on. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This one was long in the making because of a lot of stuff and a lot of troubleshooting I had to do to get everything squared away on the inside, down in there, and in the back box. Kind of know why this one was sitting up on the shelf is because it needed a lot of stuff done to it to make it work again. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, like this series, please hit the like button. And I'll put a tag up here to start the series again if you want to watch it all over again. So until next time, see ya.